So what if you could get a real strategic edge just by tweaking the way you think? Today we're going to dive into some powerful psychological tools designed to shift you from pure emotional reaction to, well, strategic intelligence. We're going to break down some simple, daily exercises you can use to navigate a world that, let's be honest, doesn't always play fair.
Okay, so this is where our source material kicks things off with a pretty stark statement. And it really sets up the core problem, right? Life isn't always an even playing field. You could be the most qualified person for a job and still watch it go to someone else. Now, this isn't about being cynical. It's just about being real about the world we all live and work in.
And that reality kind of forces us to ask a really important question. If the game feels rigged, how do you not just get by, but actually get ahead? The answer, according to our source, is all about developing what it calls strategic intelligence. It's a way of thinking that lets you handle all that complexity with real power and a sense of purpose.
All right, so the very first principle, and this is the foundation for everything else, is the power of detachment. Now hold on, this isn't about becoming some cold and different robot. Not at all. It's about building an inner freedom that becomes the bedrock of your personal strength and your clarity of thought.
So what does detachment actually mean? Well, the source defines it as this really delicate balance. You can and you should still care deeply about your goals, about your work, about your relationships. The key is to not let that care control you. You refuse to be a slave to your emotions or, more importantly, the fear of losing something.
This right here, this gets to the absolute core of the idea. Anything you're not terrified of losing has zero power over you. I mean, think about it for a second. The fear of losing a deal, losing a job, or even just losing someone's approval, that fear makes us act from a place of weakness. Being free from that fear, that's real power.
And you can see this play out perfectly in a negotiation. Just look at the difference here. The person who needs the deal to work out, the attached negotiator, they're acting out of fear and they just bleed power. But the detached negotiator, the one who is genuinely okay with walking away from the table, they control the entire room. They're operating from a position of pure strength.
Okay, so understanding the principle is one thing, but actually building it into your life is another. So let's get practical. The source gives us a simple daily exercise to develop this detachment muscle, and it is absolutely something you can start doing today.
And the whole process starts small. First, you just practice letting go of the need to win every little disagreement. You know, the ones I'm talking about. Next, you consciously work on not needing everyone to like you. And finally, you practice releasing that super tight grip on your plans. When they don't work out exactly as you imagined, you learn to adapt. These small, consistent acts of letting go, they build incredible strength over time.
So once you've got that foundation of detachment, you can move on to something a little more advanced, silent leverage. This is the art of creating influence without using force, of shaping outcomes without ever having to raise your voice. It's all about subtle, incredibly efficient power.
This comparison just shows the difference perfectly. We often think of power as being loud, right? Making demands, arguing your point, forcing your will on people. But honestly, that's exhausting, and everyone sees it coming a mile away. Real strategic power is quiet. It listens, it pauses, and it guides people to a conclusion, often making them think it was their idea all along.
So, how can we actually put this into practice in a normal, everyday situation? Well, the source gives a fantastic example that you can literally use in your very next weekly meeting to immediately feel the power of silent leverage.
Okay, I want you to picture this. You're in your regular team meeting, right? The discussion is moving pretty fast, and then all of a sudden, all eyes turn to you.
Someone hits you with a really challenging question. Now, the natural instinct for almost everyone is to just jump right in, fill the silence, and start defending or explaining yourself immediately. But that's not what you're going to do.
Instead, you pause, just for a few seconds. This simple little act does three incredibly powerful things. 1, it totally breaks the rhythm of the conversation. 2, it signals to everyone that you're actually giving the question real thought. And 3, it dramatically increases the weight and the impact of your answer when you finally give it. You, in that moment, control the room. So what this all leads to is a pretty fundamental shift in how you operate. Both detachment and silent leverage are really just tools for consciously moving away from being an emotionally reactive person and moving toward becoming a strategically intelligent one in all of your interactions. This quote really captures the end goal perfectly. See, this isn't about having nothing to lose.
It's about putting yourself in a position where you have everything to gain, but you are internally free from that fear of loss. That, right there, is the ultimate source of power.
So as you head into your week, I want you to ask yourself this. Where's one opportunity, maybe in a meeting, a tough conversation, or a negotiation, where you can consciously choose strategy over just reacting? Because that one small choice, that's where this whole shift really begins.